The world fell in love with Celine Dion because of her voice, but the greatest performance of her life had nothing to do with music. It was learning how to keep smiling while life seemed. Determined to take everything she loved for decades, fans watched her command sold-out arenas with effortless grace. Then, almost without warning, the concert stopped. One announcement after another left millions wondering the same question. Where was Celine Dion? The answer would leave the world heartbroken. Behind closed doors, the woman whose voice had become one of the most recognizable in history was fighting stiff person syndrome, a rare neurological disorder that causes painful muscle spasms and can make even the simplest movements incredibly difficult. The disease threatened not only her career, but the very instrument that had made her a global icon. Yet this wasn't the first time life had tested her. Not even close. Long before Grammy Awards, platinum records and standing ovations, Celine was the youngest of 14 children. Growing up in a modest home in Charlemagne, Quebec, money was scarce, but music was abundant. Her parents filled their home with songs instead of luxuries, creating an atmosphere where talent mattered far more than wealth. Celine never dreamed of becoming famous. She simply couldn't imagine a life without singing. Even as a child, her voice carried a rare emotional power. Family members often stopped what they were doing just to listen. They knew they were witnessing something extraordinary, even if the rest of the world hadn't heard it yet. Everything changed when Celine was 12 years old. Her mother and brother helped write a song for her and recorded a simple demo tape. They mailed it to music manager René Angelil, hoping someone would give the young singer a chance. René didn't just hear potential, he heard destiny. He believed in Celine so completely that he reportedly mortgaged his home to finance her first album. Friends thought he was taking an impossible risk. He believed it was the safest investment he would ever make. He was right. Celine quickly became a sensation throughout the French-speaking world. But she wasn't satisfied with regional success. She wanted to reach audiences everywhere, even if it meant starting over in a language she barely spoke. Learning English wasn't easy. Neither was convincing the international music industry to take another chance on a young Canadian singer. But determination had always been one of Celine's greatest strengths. By the early 1990s, she had become one of the biggest recording artists on earth. Every new album seemed larger than the last. Her concerts sold out around the world. Awards filled her shelves, yet she never lost the humility that had defined her childhood. Then came one song that changed everything. My Heart Will Go On, as the unforgettable theme from Titanic. It became more than a hit record. It became a global phenomenon. The song crossed generations, languages, and cultures, turning Celine Dion into one of the most recognizable voices in history. Millions knew the singer. Few truly knew the woman. Behind the scenes, her greatest source of happiness was never fame. It was René. Their relationship began professionally, before growing into one of the most enduring love stories in the entertainment industry. Despite criticism over their age difference, they ignored public opinion and built a life based on loyalty, trust, and unwavering support. For Celine, René wasn't just her husband. He was the first person who believed in her dream. Then, their world changed forever. René was diagnosed with throat cancer. As his condition worsened, Celine made a choice that surprised many people. She stepped away from one of the biggest careers in music to care for the man who had sacrificed everything for hers. She wasn't thinking about chart positions. She wasn't thinking about awards. She was thinking about family after years of fighting the disease. René passed away in January 2016, before Celine could even begin processing that unimaginable loss. Tragedy struck again. Just 2 days later, Her brother Daniel also died after battling cancer. The grief was almost impossible to comprehend. Many wondered if she would ever sing again. Eventually, she returned to the stage, not because she had healed, but because singing had always been where she found hope. Fans believed the hardest chapter of her life was finally over. It wasn't. For years, Celine quietly battled mysterious symptoms that doctors struggled to explain. Painful muscle spasms became more frequent. Walking became difficult. Performing became exhausting. Finally, in 2022, she revealed the truth. She had been diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, a rare neurological disorder affecting only a tiny fraction of the population. The diagnosis forced her to postpone and eventually cancel major tours around the world. For someone whose entire life revolved around performing, it was devastating. Yet even then, Celine refused to disappear. She chose honesty. She shared her journey with fans, raising awareness about a disease many people had never heard of before. Every public appearance became a reminder that courage isn't always loud. Sometimes, courage is simply showing up, even when life has become unimaginably difficult. Today, Celine Dion's legacy cannot be measured by album sales, Grammy Awards, or sold-out arenas alone. Her music has become part of millions of lives. It has celebrated weddings, comforted broken hearts, helped people through loss, and given hope when hope seemed impossible to find. Perhaps that's why the world continues to admire Celine Dion, not simply because she possessed one of the greatest voices ever recorded, but because when that voice was threatened, she revealed something even more powerful: the extraordinary strength of the woman behind the music.